Hey, what is going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another predicted 11 video. Now, first of all, I hope you guys are all doing fantastically well, and this undoubtedly is the biggest predicted 11 video of the season so far. It is the East Anglian Derby on Sunday at Portman Road, midday kickoff, and I'm actually quite excited for it. Usually I'm very nervous going into it. Yes, of course I'm nervous going into this one, but you're going to see an opposition preview that I spoke to a really nice Ipswich fan actually called Benjamin Bloom for the Blue Monday podcast, and we were both basically saying that this is going to be a completely different derby to what we're used to. Mick McCarthy's got his boys playing in a slightly different way. They've got different players to what we've been used to Ipswich having in the past. And we're completely kind of playing different football as well. Daniel Farker's got us playing different football. Our home form and our away form has been completely contrasting. And I genuinely don't know how we're going to set up the way we're going to play football. Is it going to be similar to our previous away performances or things like that? So it's going to be very interesting. Now, as well as that, I do want to thank OneFootball for sponsoring the preview videos through the whole of this month. They've been absolutely fantastic with me, and you guys really seem to like the app as well. I've heard off the OneFootball guys that you guys are downloading this in force, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, OneFootball is basically an app. I'm sure you guys know now, loads of people have it. And yeah, basically it's an app where it collates all of the latest footballing news. You can follow your favourite teams. It's got tons and tons of stats on, which I really like. So you can see here that I follow Norwich, and it's saying that we've got Ipswich at the weekend, of course. So let's click on the game, and let's, of course, predict a Norwich City win. Now, 60% of people say Norwich are going to win, 9% saying the draw, which is probably quite a decent shout, actually, and 31% predicting that Ipswich will win. And you can, of course, bet on that. The odds on a Norwich win are apparently 2.15 to 1, so a £10 stake would return £21.50. Let's have a look at Ipswich. Let's have a look how they're doing. We have gone above them in the table. They started the season so well, 5 wins from 5. Since then, I think it's 6 defeats from 8. So they are 1 point behind us, but they do have a game in hand. They've scored 20 goals, which is 8 more than us, and they've conceded 17 goals, which is 3 more than us with a +3 goal difference. We've got a -2 goal difference. Now, we're 8th, 19 points. We are just 1 point behind the top 6, which is promising at this stage of the season, considering how low down we were at 1 point. So let's have a look at the Ipswich team quickly and see who's kind of performing and see the key players. Now, Joe Garner is, of course, one of them players. He might be returning from injury. You've got the likes of McGoldrick. You've got Bielowski in goal, who's a really decent player for them. And, you know, the likes of Freddie Sears, the likes of, they've got some half-decent players. Their recent form is poor, a 1-0 defeat to Sheffield United, a 3-1 defeat to Bristol. They did have that 5-2 win over Sunderland, but Sunderland were very poor. In terms of the stats, they've averaged 1.8 goals a game, 67% pass accuracy, a 47% possession, average possession, and an average conceded rate of 1.5 goals a game, which, look, is fairly average. And look, all of that kind of goes out of the window when it comes to Sunday. Form goes out of the window. Both teams are going to be well up for this. You always know you're going to have a tough game against the Mick McCarthy side. So let's go with the team that might play. So in goal, of course, it's Angus Gunn. And I think, for the most part, the defence, it kind of picks itself. So it's Pinto in at right back, who has been fantastic, and I think as a captain he's really improved. I think that's helped him out and also the team out big time. I really like seeing him as captain. The centre-back pairing is of course Tim Closer and Christoph Zimmermann, who've been really decent. They did have that little slip-up at the weekend, didn't they? But I believe in them to hopefully perform. Chris mentioned in his fan cam at the weekend that this is going to be a big test for Tim Closer, because the last time we went to Portman Road last season, Closer was absolutely destroyed. I do think they still had Daryl Murphy at that point, so it was a little bit different. But Closer's dealt with a lot of long balls flown forwards. He's been a lot better in the air this season than he was last season. So I fully believe in that centre-back pair, and it would be incredibly harsh to drop any of these players on the pitch so far. In at left-back, I might surprise you, but I am going to go with James Husband. Now, solely because I think he's really improved in the past sort of month. I thought his best performance in a Norwich City shirt came at the weekend against Hull. I thought he was good. His pace has got a bit better. It's clear that he's a lot fitter. Let's not forget last season, and I maybe forgot this and jumped on his back a bit early, that he hardly played football last season. So his fitness was never going to be there, and I think it would be very harsh to drop James Husband. On the other hand, when you've got a Marco Stiepermann on the bench who is probably going to be fit and raring to go by the time Sunday comes around, you can't really moan if he goes in there. And I can see a pattern coming here, because from here onwards, yes, we've got the central defensive midfielders. Let's put them in. Of course, Tom Tribal is probably the first name on the team sheet at the moment, next to Harrison Reed, who has been on and off since the start of the season. Probably not his fault. Tete came in, done a fantastic job, and Reed couldn't break back in. And now this is a fantastic opportunity for Harrison Reed to really establish himself at Norwich City while Alex Tete is out injured. So that's probably sorted. Now, it's the attacking four players that I just really can't get my head around. And I want you guys to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, because I'm struggling here with who to play. Now, I'm going to put the first one in who I'd definitely stick in there, and that's Yannick Wilschke. I think he is going to bring a lot to this game. The physicality certainly is one of them. Ipswich fans don't like Yannick Wilschke. I can remember when he was playing for Wigan and he ripped Ipswich a new one. And it's still in the back of Ipswich fans' minds. If you watch the opposition preview that's going to be going up tomorrow, Ben talks about Yannick Wilschke and how Ipswich fans don't like him because of that game when Wigan played Ipswich. So that's that. I'd definitely stick him in there. I think he has a lot of value to bring. In the middle of the park, I'm going to go with James Maddison. I think his quality that he brings can't be sniffed at. And I think he is going to bring a lot of value. As well as that, Maddison this season has been kicked a lot, he's been fouled a lot, and he hasn't reacted once. But Maddison has a little bit in him, that little edge that really winds one, opposition players up, and two, opposition fans. He's constantly not giving it big, but he's got a little something about him that winds opposition fans up, and that can really help you in a derby match. So Maddison's going in there. In terms of out on the left, you've kind of got limited options, really. I wouldn't play Wes and Maddison in the same team in a derby game. Murphy, I think, is still injured. I know he broke his toe against Reading, so I don't think he's going to be an option, although I would have quite liked to have seen a Murphy in here. I think he suits this game quite well. So I'm actually going to go, now this might surprise you, and this is probably absolute lunacy, but I can't think of anyone else, with Marco Stiepermann. Now, it seems like Stiepermann can pretty much play anyway. He's got a fantastic engine on him. He'll be well up for this game. And I just think that kind of makes sense. As well as that, you've got a slightly more defensive-minded player in that attacking lineup that is going to help you when Ipswich do attack. So I'm going to go with Stiepermann in there. And then up front, again, I think this might surprise you. I'm going to go with Cameron Jerome, solely because his record in derbies is fantastic. He's gonna work very hard. I'm not saying that Nelson won't. I just think that Nelson Oliveira off the bench is a massive, massive asset. However, do you just go all guns blazing from the start and go with a Nelson Oliveira and maybe risk that injury that he's got at the moment? I know Nelson said that it's not affecting him too much and he feels good, but I'm not so sure. Now, of course, I really don't know, and I want you guys to let me know what you're thinking down in the comments, because I'm struggling with this team, because I don't know how Ipswich are going to set up, I don't know how they're going to play the game, and I don't know how we're going to want to play the game. We might even see Nelson and Jerome up top and drop one of these players out of the middle. Maybe Maddison has to be sacrificed and we go two up top. That's definitely an option. However, I don't think that the format is going to change too much from what we've seen so far in our away games this season. That is the team that I'm provisionally going to go with. I think from now until the game, I'm going to constantly be chopping and changing players out of that. But we've got a team that, one, cares, two, will fight till the very end, and three, is going to be very, very much up for this game. And more importantly, we've got a lot of quality on the pitch, despite the injuries to Pritchard and other players like that. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As well as that, OneFootball, go and download it. It's a fantastic app to have on your phone. It's completely free, so even if you don't like it, just download it, give it a go for a couple of weeks, and then delete it if you don't like it. But I'd thoroughly recommend it. They've got a really cool YouTube channel as well. I'll link that down in the comment section below. That is my predicted 11 ahead of this weekend's game against Ipswich. There's going to be loads of content from the East Anglian Derby this week, so be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, and I will catch you on the other side. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Peace out.